So for my first birth, I didn't know what I didn't know, and because of that, I really felt bullied in the hospital setting. And although I had an incredible nurse and a great doula, I still had a lot of things that happened just because they're not there to rescue me, and I didn't know how to rescue myself. And with my second birth, I didn't understand the necessity of a doula when my husband was around because he was deployed for the first. And with that, I lacked a lot of confidence, and I didn't have that voice to tell me I couldn't do it, and I really wish I did, and that was detrimental to that birth. So with the third birth, I incidentally trained to be a doula, which was incredible. And with that, I just learned how powerful my body was and that I'm incredibly capable to do powerful things. And I trusted myself, I trusted my baby, and made sure that I read a lot to prepare for that. And I just felt calm and confident and ready to rock it. So what I did wrong during my first pregnancy and second when I thought I was preparing was I read the Mayo Clinic's guide to childbirth, and I read What to Expect When You're Expecting, and both those books terrified me, and they're not very emotional nor supportive, nor do they speak about the experiences of other women, and it was really difficult to read those books and essentially prepare myself for things to go south very quickly. And what I did differently is, although I had Ina May's Guide to Childbirth during my first, I didn't quite understand the concept of it. But with my third, I read that book so many times over and felt the power from those women before me, and just knew that my baby would tell me if something was wrong and how to listen to the cues. I also read When Survivors Give Birth, and that was a really touching account of other women and how we can overcome obstacles and traumatic experiences through birth and just embody the powerful women that we are. We decided to go with home birth midwives for our third baby because it's more of controlled care setting. And what I mean by that is, in hospitals, you don't always know if your doctor is going to be available. You don't know what nurses are going to be on staff, if you like them, if they don't feel really supportive of what your birth plan is. And we were able to really personalize the care that we were looking for. And we just knew that we would be a family moving forward, and it's good to have someone in your space that you feel like you can be vulnerable with. So around 6:30 p.m. I started feeling a little off, and I was very frustrated because I was hungry, but I felt nauseous. And I just kind of put it off and was really angry that I couldn't finish my pork chop for dinner because I didn't feel good. And the whole time my husband and my brother-in-law were like, you know, when labor starts and when this and when that. And I was like, no, it's if. I'm not in labor, I'm just not feeling well, it's fine. Denial was an incredible, amazing factor. And it wasn't until almost 10 p.m. where my husband finally convinced me to call our fantastic doula, Ashley. And we called her, and we called our birth photographer, and I was like, you don't need to come, everything's fine. I'm just giving you a heads up because Anthony's making me. And our birth photographer was Jelena, and she reminded me that she could come and that she was traveling a little bit. And I, no, I'm fine, because I didn't want there to be anything to photograph, because all I wanted to do was go to sleep, and I didn't want anyone in my space to ruin my sleep. So Ashley comes, and we're laboring a little bit, and it was amazing to have her because I was on the yoga ball and the surges were starting to space out. And I thought that was just like, oh, it's not tonight. I knew it wasn't tonight, but she knew better and knew to get me into a different position that would facilitate more surges to keep things progressing. So we were up for a bit, and midnight hit, maybe 1 o'clock, I think. It's, you know, labor land in between those hours. And we decided to send my husband to sleep because we jokingly say that he's narcoleptic, and we knew that when we needed him on, he had to be on, and there was nothing to watch. So I sent him to bed, and surprisingly my brother-in-law was hanging out with us, and he refused to sleep. We kept telling him nothing is happening, and he wouldn't sleep. So I'm laboring on the back of a chair, wouldn't get in my birth space because I wasn't in labor. I was just on my couch, and eventually I was going to send Ashley home because I did not believe I was in labor, and she must have read my mind and told me to go to sleep and helped me get comfortable on the couch because we set up our home birthing space in our bedroom, and I was not in labor, so I could not go into my bedroom. I didn't want to be in there too long. I thought it would really distract me and take away any confidence I had if I was in there for too long. So I'm laboring on the couch, and my brother-in-law essentially DJ'd my labor. He just kept playing music, and it was great, and I would fall into a very deep sleep in between contractions, and I thought they were spacing out, I thought they were 20 minutes in between, even though they were getting closer together. I was not aware. So when at some point I sit up, and I'm just like, okay, I'm fucking done with this. And my brother-in-law sits up and he goes, "We're done? It's over now? We're done?" And Ashley goes, No, sweetie, she's just done lying down now. Because I got uncomfortable. I really can't describe it as painful. I was just uncomfortable. I get up and I go pee to our little small powder bathroom, and I'm in there for a bit, and Ashley asked if I wanted to do a self-exam since I've done those before. And I did, and I felt that he was still really far back, and she starts making the phone calls for everyone, and she tells my husband, she wakes him up and tells him to start filling up the water tub. And I'm in there and the door's closed, and I have my own time with my baby. And I had 3 hours in my head, and I was getting really uncomfortable, and the pressure was getting intense. And I said to him, I can't do this for 3 more hours. I don't want to cry. I said, I can't do this for 3 more hours. I don't want to transfer, but I was like, Mommy is tired. Mommy is so tired, and I just need to meet you. So we can't do 3 more hours, okay? And with that, I went to go get up. And as soon as I got up, I had to sit back down because the pressure was just really intense. And I was in there for about 5 minutes by myself, and Ashley comes out and asks me if I wanted to go to the bedroom, to which I quite snappy reply told her that I've been trying to go to my bedroom. And then she tells me that I ran from the bathroom to the bedroom. I have no memory of making it from A to B. Immediately get on all fours, and my body instinctually started pushing. I was not pushing on my own, I couldn't control it. And she starts very calmly making sure we have everything ready. And I'm on the floor in our military home. And I'm like, I'm not having this baby on this rug. I'm getting in that tub, and I didn't know how I was gonna get up. Ashley told me I could get in the tub if I wanted to, even though there was probably just about an inch or two of water in there since they just started filling it up. I go to sit up, and I see my windows open, and I am so worried that my neighbors are gonna hear me moaning so loudly. So I'm like moaning and reaching over to close the window as much as I can, and I did that, and I don't remember getting in the tub. Ashley said I was a gazelle and jumped in, but I don't remember. And I was in there, and I pushed again. I could feel him coming out, and as soon as I felt a sensation that I would interpret as pain, that sensation was gone. And I had a moment where I said I couldn't do it, and Ashley, my husband, were both either side of me, and they just whispered, "You're already doing it. You're doing beautifully. You're incredible." And that was exactly what I needed to hear to push me forward. And my body started pushing again, and his head was out, and it was such relief that I was like, "Where is he?" And Ashley goes, "You have to push the rest of him out still." And I thought he was out. And I pushed the rest of him out, and it happened very quickly. I think it was maybe 17 minutes from me leaving that bathroom to him being in my arms. And Ashley was incredible. She knew that there wasn't enough water in the tub, and that could be a little bit of some unwanted pressure for his head coming out, since there's no buoyancy, since there was barely any water in there. And she told me I needed to sit up, and I heard her. But when you're in labor land, you can't respond very quickly, so she just held me and leaned me forward and pushed me up in time. And out he came, and I turned myself around with the help of my husband, and she caught Milo and put him in my arms, and it was the best. It was the best feeling ever, and that oxytocin high is like nothing you can compare it to. He was there, and we had him, and everything was just so perfect. And I didn't know my brother-in-law was taking photos the whole time, which was so incredible that we have those memories now. And Ashley called the midwives and said, "Baby's here," and they're like, "Okay, baby's on the way." And she goes, no, like, baby is here, he is here. And because it happened just so incredibly fast, unless they pretty much were here from when I was in the bathroom, there was just no way anyone else was gonna make it in time. So my brother-in-law actually helped carry me into bed while I held Milo, and we got nice and comfortable, and it was fantastic. And if you don't know the power of your words, I would really start thinking about what you put out there, because my husband completely predicted this birth. From 20 weeks, he joked that it'd be so funny if no one was here and everyone showed up and we were comfortable in bed. And I would say to him, no, I at least need Ashley here. At least my doula will be here, and then maybe it would be okay. And he goes, fine. Ashley's here and no one else makes it in time. And don't you know, Ashley was there and everyone showed up and we were nice and comfortable in bed. And it was great. And my brother-in-law came in and he made cinnamon buns for all of us. And it was the sweetest memory that he was a part of. And we chose him as godfather. And it was such a touching moment because he has such a special bond with him already. And everything was perfect. The midwives were preparing me that I might have tore or something because it was a precipitous birth. He came so fast. And everything was great. I didn't tear, I barely bled, and it was just really the power of trusting myself and trusting my baby, and I couldn't have done that without those two factors and my great support that we chose to have him part of our birth journey. And that's it. The advice that I would give to birthing people, to pregnant women, to partners on this journey together, education is 100% key. You do not know what you don't know, and you could plan for this great birth, but if something different happens, and that's the baby's path, you want to know what options you have in a setting. You still have options in a C-section. You still have options if you have a home birth in terms of maintaining and controlling any type of pressure, intensity, and pain. So being educated, finding the perfect support team for you, a doula, a midwife, an OB, someone that isn't telling you how something's gonna be. They're allowing your body to do what it's meant to do and it's been doing for centuries, and really trusting you. And Ina May's Guide to Childbirth, it needs to be a staple for everyone. They should hand those out like Oprah with candy. Like, everyone gets one, because it's such a powerful book that allows you to really embody what it's like to have a baby and what your body can do and how you can feel if you're supported the proper way. Like Ina May says that you should look and feel like a goddess in birth, and that is completely accurate. And the next thing I would say is, no one can tell you what to do with your body. Unless there's some type of medical necessity, you own this. And you own it during labor. Your baby knows what it's doing, and you know what you're doing, and you need to trust yourself. So find your tribe, educate yourself, surround yourself with supportive women, watch videos of women giving birth and in the woods, in the sea, all over, so you can understand that all of these things are variations of normal, and you can have the birth that you want to have. Just put positivity out into the world and it'll come back to your birth.